News with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, I'll skip the Tubin story and we'll go right to the Super Bowl halftime show. Obviously, the Super Bowl is going to look a little different this year, but they have decided who will be performing at halftime. It will be The Weeknd.
Oh, how nice.
The
I was
Weeknd.
expecting someone old and irrelevant.
He'll be performing during the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show. It's going to NFL and Pepsi. He'll take the stage at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida, Sunday, February 7th, 2021. Game will air on CBS.
It'd be funny if the male acts. So last year we had Shakira and Beyonce, was it?
J-Lo.
Oh, J-Lo, sorry.
Yeah.
But you know how now with the women, the acts are always sort of hypersexual, like everyone's super tight shit, butt hanging out. Like
there was a stripper pole.
And like
the camera.
twerking and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
The males should just do the exact same thing. Like
Go full Lenny
go
Kravitz.
out there in Sacha Baron Cohen's like one piece, neon green bikini thing, and just start shaking his balls and ass. And all
look for Bono.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they just went, all right, well, that's what they do. We're going to do that. I got my female backup singers, but you guys get down on your knees and I'll just rub my sack on your forehead. Like, how insanely outrageous would it be? Like, they wouldn't even have to exaggerate what Shakira and J-Lo did. Like,
just do the dance.
Just do a straight 1-for-1 or a male version of that.
That would be a hate crime.
That would be
against women. Kids.
That would be so insane. And also, it shows us how our society works, right? Like, Shakira and J-Lo, it's like, look at them shaking their ass, looking good. Who's a better ass shaker, Shakira or J-Lo? But it'd be so insane if you just pictured a male act doing the same thing.
Well, you're absolutely right. And hasn't it always been with the motion picture television grading system that a naked woman is an R? A naked man is an X or Nancy
frontal nudity.
Yeah. Jeffrey Toobin exposing himself as an R. Jeffrey Toobin beating off as a hard X.
Hard X. So, everybody look forward to that.
Does The Weeknd have a bunch of hits or some hits?
I think so.
He has enough for a halftime show.
Is his thing.
He has good hair.
Does he still have the black version of the flock of seagulls hair? Or did he change that?
Doesn't he have Adam Durtz's hair from Counting Crows?
No,
no.
He had it way up. Way up and back.
Bouffant.
Yeah.
It was like that, but now pictures I'm seeing, it's like more like a mini fro.
You should be able to find a flock of seagull and a Weeknd thing, and I bet they got the same hairstylist, or they had the same hairstyle. So yes, that was his thing. Now, we'll see how he does. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Do we want young and cool, or do we want U2 or whomever?
I feel like I've seen, and I basically saw nothing, had a vague memory, when they have a newer act, like a less established act, usually they bring out someone like a Prince or whoever, you know what I mean, to guest.
Aerosmith.
Something like that. And now I could be completely wrong, but I feel like that's been done a few times.
Maybe formatically, with all the pomp and circumstance and all the people out on the field and all the dancers and everything, maybe it's all just going to stay young from this point on. Like I don't know when the Rolling Stones played, but it wasn't that long ago.
It was semi-recently.
It was. And wasn't last year when everybody bowed out, like Maroon 5 was going to do it, and then they bowed out, and nobody wanted to be, NFL was a little too third rail with what was going on. So are we done with that now?
I guess.
We've moved on.
I thought Maroon 5 did it the year before.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Oh, maybe. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm thinking the wrong. But I know that some people were like, I'm not.
This might have been 2 years ago with Maroon 5.
Oh, maybe.
I think your story is overall correct. Yeah.
There's something to do with Maroon 5 and nobody wanting to do that halftime show.
Yeah. I guess we're past that now.
Okay, good to know. Well, in other NFL news, according to a new study, the NFL will lose about $2.7 billion in revenue because there aren't many, if any, fans going. Clearly, the league is doing all they can to keep playing the games. There's so much money at stake. They're losing a bunch at the stadiums, but
the entire NFL over the entire year.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as the games go on, they can still get the TV revenue. But as far as, in stadium purchases, they're going to lose almost $3 billion.
I wonder how the ratings are doing this year. I know
Good question.
The NBA dropped off a lot. MLB, I don't think dropped off as much, and NFL probably less. I'm trying to think. I think the NBA with the Black Lives Matter, stenciled on the court and everything. I think they just got too political, and that was some of it. I think it pissed off some of their audience. But the NFL's been keeping the politics out of it for the most part. MLB kind of did it, but I know the NBA was down a lot. I don't know if I don't know what other leagues have been doing. I'd be curious what the TV ratings are because
since each sport restarted, the NBA, NHL, baseball, regular season and playoffs, tennis, everything, college football have all had ratings declines of at least 25% compared with last year.
Seems like everything's down.
Do people miss? So when you watch a game and there's nobody in the stands, does it have that weird effect like porno with a condom?
100% yes. I can
You
say.
go, you should be enjoying this. I know, but I just don't like it as much. And well, what's that have to do with what's going on the field? And it's like,
it's still going in.
I know, but I'm kind of bummed.
I watched the USC opener this last weekend, and it was against Arizona State, 9 in the morning. 0 fans in the stadium. The Coliseum fits 90,000 people, and they had 0 fans in the stadium. Credit to the sound effects guy; he actually made it sound okay. But it's just it feels like a scrimmage, or it feels like some version that we don't respond to.
But haven't people been so starved for sports, like they've been saying for 8 months, that people were tuning into Japanese softball, that they would be thrilled to have this?
Yes, but I'm a hardcore USC fan. Imagine the casual fan who might tune in or might not. Like, they're not tuning in.
Yeah, also, this is a New York Times article I'm referencing, but they also said that because all the sports were on at the same time, everyone was kind of competing against each other then.
That's
football's
true.
actually doing okay now.
Oh, because basketball's so late, yeah.
I don't get with the Coliseum. It's a day game, right?
It's a morning game.
Morning game. Why was it what time is it? Say 9?
Gary may know or Chris may know, but it was some sort of TV deal. Actually, kind of worked out well. I think the ratings were higher than they normally would have been. But yes, it was some sort of TV deal.
In a stadium that holds 90,000 people, why can't we let 10,000 people in and let them
the families of these,
out?
80-something kids? It's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, because you can go across the street from the Coliseum and walk down sidewalks in downtown with plenty of people on them and eat at restaurants where you sit 5 feet from the other couple out on the patio. Like, you can't be more outside than the Coliseum, and you can't have more potential for safe distancing than the Coliseum because
you can spread them out real easy.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you let 10,000 people into that place, you could still spread it out. Yeah, you're right. They should just let the families. There's a lot of what I fear most about the world we're sort of living in is these sort of like decrees. You know what I mean? Like
One size fits all.
No one's going to come into the Coliseum because we have a zero tolerance. And it's like, well, what about the families of the players? All total, there might be 250 people. We could spread that out over 90,000 seats. No, because nobody can come in.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're at. This is our thing with the rules now, and it's just because it was written because Barbara Ferrer, who doesn't care about college football, said no. Now we're just no. And there's no the thing that sucks is there is no pleading your case.
There's no appeals court.
No.
And you couldn't say, well, the beaches are crowded. There's plenty of people on the beach. What's so the airport? The airport is 9 miles away from the Coliseum. That's teeming with human beings. What would be so dangerous about? And that's indoors. Why not just let them? Because nobody can go in the Coliseum. That's the
like
answer.
A no-brainer.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
But here we are.
Well, just to double down on that a little bit, and obviously this is inside, but still huge, at least 4 NBA teams will not allow fans back into arenas in any capacity next month. The NBA reportedly sent out a memo Wednesday with protocols to all 30 teams with eligible markets to host fans, according to CBS.
You know, it's really going to hurt here. The guys, the NBA, fine, no one come in the stands, no concessions, no ticket prices, none of no merch,
no parking.
But the team that's really going to get, but the NBA still gets all the TV ad revenue and licensing deals and all that kind of stuff. The team that's really going to take it on the chin is the Harlem Globetrotters. That franchise needs a full house. I mean, everything they do is about ticket sales.
I can't believe they didn't bother without fans.
The Generals want to win.
And how much, you could imagine that LeBron with no fans could still go hard into the paint and dunk the ball. But when you're doing the confetti bucket trick and there's nobody in the stands,
that's a hard one to pull off.
That's a tough one to pull off. That is a tough one.
You got to be a real performer.
Yeah.
How to commit.
Also, like,
men from the boys.
It's got to be a weird discussion. Like, are we going to do the bit today? We're going to do the gag where I do the free throw, and then you come up behind me and you pull my shorts down, and then I'm wearing the boxer shorts with the hearts on them. Or we're not still going to do that, right? Oh yeah,
It's part of the bit. Yeah, it's part of the game.
But the
show must go on.
But there's nobody here.
Hey, are you a pro or not? Look me in the eyes right now.
I'm hearing a lot of commitment on your part.
I wish I was a fucking pro. If I wasn't cut from the Suns 4 years ago, yes, I would be a goddamn pro. And we wouldn't have this conversation about you pulling my pants down during a free throw, which would rarely happen in the NBA, if ever.
If ever.
I'd have to really go back and look and see if that's ever happened.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Meadowlark's son. I'm just saying, Meadowlark Jr. Look, I'm a team player, but the whole effect of you pulling my shorts down and exposing me in my underpants is to embarrass me in front of the crowd. You already know I'm wearing the boxer shorts with the hearts on them. So who are we entertaining here?
All right, listen here, Curly Jr.
Yeah.
Maybe there's one person who doesn't know you're wearing those heart boxer shorts.
All right. Can I tell you this? I chafed so much in those novelty boxing shorts, boxer shorts with the hearts on them, running up and down the court every time. How about I just wear my boxer briefs? I got some Tommy Johns. I'll just leave those on. Meet me in the middle. You can do the thing where you pull the shorts down, and I'll just spare in my boxer briefs. How about that?
Sorry, I know I work in the front office, and I'm not on the court with you guys, but as a woman, I could say that's not funny. That's just sexy, and we're not doing sexy here. We're doing funny, just comedy.
That's right.
We're not doing anything here. We're doing nothing here. There's nobody in the stands. I don't even know why we're doing this.
I see people roaming around. There's people in the rafters fixing the lights. There's somebody dealing with the HVAC. I see them.
It violates the spirit of the bit, but if you have boxer briefs with hearts, I'll consider it.
I can go online, but all right, but we're not going to do the confetti bucket trick, are we?
Like hell, you're not.
What am I do with all this confetti?
Listen, Cheryl Swoop's daughter.
You know how many party cities I had to go to get all this confetti?
Yeah. I'm just feeling like maybe we should just call it a day with this game. I mean, the Washington Generals, the bus hasn't even arrived. I think this is what we'd call a charade.
Well, really, what we do is a charade.
Yeah, it's all a charade.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go get really drunk. I'll see you guys on the court.
I'll see you on the
court. Perfect. We can have it any other way.
All right.
So that includes the Lakers. No fans. And do you want to know if you're curious when fans can come back to see Laker games? It is until further notice.
Yeah.
And that season starts December 22nd.
December 22nd. Man, they're going to be right back. You have a quote of Aaron Rodgers complaining about NFL protocol, Max Spada?
Yeah, this is Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show, just complaining about the COVID protocol at the NFL.
They're watching everything, and if there's a lapse in protocol, you can get fined. Obviously, you've seen teams get fined already, and individual coaches and players get fined for breaking protocol. I mean, there's one-person tables in the lunchroom. There's plexiglass or whatever the hell it is between our lockers. We have like offense, defense in the locker room. So I'm not sitting next to, Tim Boyle and getting to shoot the shit with him after a meeting or before or after practice. I mean, I can barely even talk to Warren, who's my locker mate, because there's a partition between us. I have to lean out over it, and half the time you can't hear what I'm saying, I think. So it definitely puts a strain on that, locker room conversation, camaraderie. I think obviously the proponents of all that say it's necessary to get us to the finish line and to the season. I think there's a lot of questions about, is this, are we doing all this based on science and it's all necessary?
Is he joking?
I mean, there's some interesting conversations to be had down the line.
Well, he is wearing a Kenny's dad South Park sweatshirt.
A couple positive tests in the last few weeks. That puts you in this protocol to where, now we're wearing masks down at in the weight room, down to practice, have the little shield stuff.
Hold on, can I ask you why you just mentioned that? Because you're not talking about the real world. You're talking about in sports, I think. A.J. Dillon had it for the entire game, played an entire game with it, and nobody else had a positive. Now we're hearing that other people played with it. Vance McDonald, who's sitting next to Ben on the plane and in the locker room, Ben's had a negative test. So I would assume that in the locker room, not just yourself, there's a lot of people going like, okay, so these people literally played an entire day. We didn't have the plexiglass there. Are we doing let's be safe, but maybe we're overdoing it a bit, and can we adjust that at the time? Because it feels like it's going the opposite direction. It's getting like stricter and stricter as it goes, when it feels like there's an opportunity to potentially lighten that up a little bit inside the confines of the little mobile bubble you guys have.
No, I'm not saying that, Ben. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm not saying it would lighten anything up. I'm saying
we got it. They should put a plexi between the offensive and defensive line.
Yeah,
I would watch that.
They're breathing right into each other.
Now, basically,
he goes on to say about why can we dap a guy after a game, but we can't eat at the same lunch table as a teammate.
Yeah, he's saying there's a hypocrisy to it. We can, so there's stuff we can control and stuff we can't control. So the stuff we can control, we over control it, and you take like NFL and a Black Lives Matter rally or march or a Biden celebration or an outdoor whatever, people taking to the streets or whatever. We can control the shit out of every business in this town. We control them. And so we control them down to the last fiber and micron. But then when everyone hits the street and has a big rally, we can't control it. So we go, all right, well, we can't control that. Football is a contact sport where people are rubbing and spitting and snarling at each other the entire game. So that we have, and then you go to the lunchroom and the lunch tables are 9 feet apart. I think that's basically what he's saying. Like we do so much controlling on the stuff that we can control, and then there's just shit. I mean, this whole experiment could be broken down into, here's what we can do. We can shut the parks. We can control you. By the way, shutting the fucking parks. Really? Was that ever a good fucking idea? That's ugh. So we can shut the parks, we can shut the businesses, and we'll do that. Thanksgiving, we can try, but it's not going to work. Everyone's just going to fucking do whatever they want in Thanksgiving. Yeah. So I think when you live in a world like Aaron Rodgers, where you have all these crazy protocols, and then you just go out in the field and put your hands all over each other and try to kill each other, it probably feels like a little over control versus the out of control actual football game. All right, Gina, what else?
Well, this is interesting, and this is the sci-fi future we're about to step into. So let me give you a little preview. Ticketmaster has been working on a framework for post-pandemic fan safety that uses your smartphone. Now, you think you've seen all the movies. This is about to be our reality. So you're basically going to have to verify your vaccination status or test negative with your phone before you'll be let into an event. This is what we're going toward the future for Billboard.com wrote this. So here's how it's going to work if it's approved. After purchasing a ticket for a concert, fans would need to verify that they've already been vaccinated, which will last for 1 year because nobody's saying this is a lifetime vaccination, or test negative for the coronavirus approximately 24 to 72 hours prior to the concert. Once the test is complete, the fan would instruct the lab to deliver the results to their health pass company, Clear or IBM or whatever. If the tests are negative or the fan is vaccinated, the health pass company will verify the attendee's COVID status to Ticketmaster, which would then issue the fan the credentials needed to access the event. If the test is positive or you didn't get your verification status, you are just not allowed in.
This is going to end up like the fucking no-fly list at the airport. My name's somehow going to get onto this list of can't attend a concert, and I'm going to never be able to get my name off it because some guy named AdamCarolla flunked his test.
Right.
Where are you guys in terms of your home and your protocols and whatever as far as COVID goes? Where are you from the peak of the panic of the pandemic, let's say, end of March, when everyone was like taking their shoes off and wiping everything down and wiping every package down with Purell and washing their hands 15 times a day. Where are you from then to now? And it can be the same. I'm just curious. Has it dropped off?
No, we're the exact example you gave, which was back in March or April. We were wiping down the grocery delivery or the Amazon package with a little, wipe, whatever, Clorox wipe or whatever. And now we're a little more, catch as catch can with that kind of stuff because more information has come to light and we feel more comfortable with
What would you give yourself? If you gave yourself 100%, where are you now?
What does 100 represent? Like super vigilant about
the
safety?
most. Yeah.
No,
at your highest. At your highest, you were 100%.
At the highest, yeah, we were in the 90s probably, and now probably.
Well, I'm putting you at 100% of what you were doing.
Sure, on the curve. Sure, my 100%. Yeah, we're about mid 60s.
Mid 60s, Gina.
Yeah, we're going out with outdoor restaurants and stuff.
First of all, I was done going into grocery stores and stuff. I just, I didn't want to.
And once.
And I have, please, when Whole Foods says the whole store's 50% off, you try to keep me at home. So now obviously I'm doing that more. And my big thing, I haven't gotten sick this whole year. So I've been very fortunate. I am just so afraid something's going to stick to me and hurt somebody else that I'm just trying to dodge everything, wipe everything down. I still don't, if I wear clothes because I have to go into the newsroom, but I'm the only one there. And then I come home, but I'm sitting in a chair everyone sat in. I won't wear those pants. I put those right in the hamper as opposed to I get a wear or two out of those. I don't want to sit on anything at home until I change. And that might be psychological, but otherwise I'm not wiping down groceries anymore.
So if you're you're 100% at your peak, where are you now?
70?
Well, okay.
65, 70?
All right.
It's about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still go to physical therapy twice a week, and that everyone's touching each other, and they're all touching. They're cleaning equipment between, but it's all shared stuff, and it's just a calculated risk. I feel like that's beneficial. I need to go.
All right, Gina. Sorry,
I got
JimGray waiting. So can we bring it home?
Oh, we got plenty. Don't worry. We'll wait on everything. We'll do it next week. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
That was the news with Gina Grad.